Hello, hi, I'm Gopi Tangavel, Senior Vice President for the group. This one is very simple. I believe everyone aware of it. Just a refresh maybe. It's about the data center and what we talk about, So I'm from the small town called Madurai. So you have to say yes or no? So it's from India, in the world map, and we are in the galaxy in a dot. And this is my hobby. I used to click wherever I go, and won few awards also. And this one got small award. It's a Russian girl. Okay, now get back to the business of data centers. Okay, the data centers, we get two different things, right? One is we are getting a heavy pressure from both sides. One is from the business side, and another one from internally. We cannot able to give what they are looking for. And more than that, there is one more change is there. For example, any organizations, any new guy join, or new lead join, or any other climate change, of course, they will try to prove that whatever it's happened is wrong and we have to start from the scratch or we have to change everything. So it's important to understand what is the climate about. So if you look at the overall thing is the entire collaboration piece, which is right now is growing like crazy way, which is we all know that, starting from your Teams or Zoom or whatever it is happening in the across market, your communication system or mailing systems or whatever is happening, this is increasing the load of the data center like crazy way. And over and above, if you look at the empowering user and user experience or any other actions, whatever we are trying to do, and we try to do a lot of SLAs and OLAs, which has become a biggest challenge for us. And the data center guys always go through the sleepless nights because of there is a availability, 99.9 or 100% uptime. Because nowadays people not even accepting 99% because still you are losing some 36 hours or something, right? And now this GDPR and other compliance and if you are in pharma industry or FDA compliance and other GAMP and everything together. So if you look at that, compliance become a biggest area for all the data center people nowadays. And if you look back the behind the scenes, right? And day by day, this power is keep increasing. And if you look back, the 2000 or 99 or whatever it is, that period, the megawatts of each area data center consumption and each server unit consumption is very, very different than what we are using. We are almost 10 to 15 times increase that, the power consumptions. Anyway, data centers, you guys knows already what it is, We normally talk about, from the back end what we do. So when you look at the traditional data center, what we do, typically, it can be small, it can be medium, it can be large, or it can be some other hub room also. Many people call it data center or server rooms. And usually it will be within the organization, largely, 99%, or some people, they will do the certain co-locations and other areas. And modern data centers, which is nowadays when you look back, either it's from either third-party service provider, or if you are self-sufficient to provide the large scale of data center operation itself. It is nowadays, you call it private-owned cloud, starting from you want to do it a virtualization way or Kubernetes way or whatever the way you want to call it. It is become, the enterprise level, and it is market is growing in that segment is very large. And this one, we no need to get into deep. We will go in a simple way. Traditional is nothing but, you have some 42U racks and you filled with 1U or 2U servers with 40 to 80 servers. You will dump as much possible. Or if it is a bigger server, you will put some 20 plus servers. And you have multiple clustered servers, which is you will simply integrate. And it will generate more heat and it will have a less space. It's consume as much possible. But now, this modern data center, which is containerized, what you do, even the container completely down also, other container you can bring up. So you no need to go one particular service fail or server fail or storage fail or link fail or some other specific things got failed, right? So you can do whatever you want to do, which is the modern data center, which is we are talking about. Either it's from power unit or it's from the backup of other area or you're talking about power grid, the way it's happening, and if you look at the entire rack side also, whatever the rack model, which is having a intelligent way, high availability and BCPDR together, right? And this is a surprising factor. If you look at the global level, there is a count has been calculated like around 45,000 server. If you assume that there is a data center across the globe, if you are consuming it, we are almost consuming more than the entire UK, how much power they are consuming. It's more than that, the data center, because data center is power hungry. It is getting more and more power, and day by day it's keep increasing. And really, the government also keep pushing it as much possible, and we are talking about a lot of green data centers increasing more, and power grid is increasing, and availability become more critical because of communications or connectivity or whatever the things you want to call it, So if you look at the overall, the emissions which is data center itself giving, is worse than, countries actually. And the ratio, when you look back, entire thing is largely is equipped with this, our server, storage, and UPS and all these things together. When you look back, your entire data center operations, how the evolution started. After 2015 also, yes, we going with the containerist model. The overall modular option now is become purely software-defined data center, right? So serverless or whatever you want to call it. So that is moving towards to the, NATIC model, which is you can put it in underwater because due to the cooling system, or you can put it in a windway, or there is a multiple rapid deployment data center, we call it. So the same second you can deploy networking, servers, storage, whatever it is in the rapid model, because now nobody ready to wait for it, right? And of course, if you look back the COVID time, the entire area after 2020, if you look at it, it is like going up because of the cloud. If you look at that job market also went crazy way, even the 10 lakh cities guy become 40 lakhs, and the craziness what happened. Because they want to complete, everyone want to complete and achieve the data center project, and they want to put everyone under cloud. And because nobody able to go to office also, right? Last 2 years we went through this craziness. And now the prediction is it is going to be more and more, because nobody want to wait until some disaster happen, or people not ready to wait for, okay, my data center will be up and things will be okay. And people come with the new requirements, request, and they are keep expanding in a way which is normal data center or edge system or server room not able to fulfill them. So that's why the cloud model is going crazy way. And we all know that, when you look at it, there is less control wherever we are doing it, like a 365. The moment you migrate from your Exchange or email system to 365 or Google or any other online model, if you really look at it, you have almost 0% control, almost. You don't have any control at all, and you may need 1 or 2 resources to manage the entire show, logically, right? Unless your HR send accidentally everybody pay slip to everyone, so you just want to run some PowerShell or something to script out. That's the only thing you may need it. Otherwise, it's if Microsoft or Google will declare, next half an hour it is going to be downtime, you have to accept it. You don't have a choice. At the same time, the more infrastructure as a service, which we are providing to the business and other people, then of course you have full control of it, but at the same time it is your own lock-in area. And another fast growing model, which is a medium control, which is a serverless. Again, you are going to lock in with the vendor. So there is a prediction which is how much believable or not, but after pandemic we are believing many things. So there is a Gartner predicted, when I went and talked to them, there is, I don't know, Dave is one of the famous chap in Gartner. He predicted like 80% of the enterprise data center will shut down by 2025. Or I asked him, maybe it's 2030, 35. No, he said 2025, but there is a high possibility little sooner also. Because the way things are going, the things already migrated into data center, it is going to be day by day increasing. And before 2020, it was only 10% of the enterprise only shut down the data center for migration to cloud. Now, if you look at it, each organization, they already migrated into cloud, or they are in a process of almost in a verge of completing it. But when they done one survey with all the CIO of India, they give only one version. Everywhere, anywhere, I need the place compute capability to enable my business. That's it. That is my only requirement. I cannot go and beg for, I need space, I need services, I need computing. I cannot do that anymore. I just want to need it, and I will get it done. This is the thing. So the digital infrastructure area, if you really look at it, you cannot constrain by one physical location. You cannot say that data center or server room or edge room is sitting in Hyderabad or Chennai or some one particular place, and you will get only from that area, and there's no restriction now. So that is, when you restrict it, you are going to get impacted, right? And ecosystem and partner scalability and agile infrastructure is another second key area. Third is overall how you are ensuring that there is a process is happening and your asset is getting utilized, and enabling complete digital transformation. Whoever is asking, for example, there is a big data, or there is other digitalization projects, or whatever you are trying to do, are we in a position to enable it, right? And the main thing is, are you able to retain your staff? For example, you organization decide, let's go complete virtualization, but you may not have the entire resources. Organization deciding, okay, let's go Kubernetes. You doesn't even have a Kubernetes. Even you call all the vendor, they will say, we have a Kubernetes resource, but they are nothing but just a simple L1 resources. So whatever the technology we are talking about, are we in a position to adopt it with the existing resources as well as overall things, right? So the simple mindset, which is when you talk about either cloud computing or data center or everything, first, you have to have a basic understanding of what is data center and what is it about, right? And second is, are we open-minded? Because many people, if you go and talk to them, they will say, already is there. IBM is doing, or Google doing, Amazon doing, or someone else doing, Tata doing, including Reliance is doing. Just accept whatever it is, and we no need to do this or that. But actually, if you go back and look back the technology, right now the technology is amazing, which is so much you can do without even, there is a concept already started, which is the humanless data centers, which is nothing but RPA-based data center, no human is required, and it's all sensor-based. It will find out there is a even small leakage in water or air or humidity. Everything is able to monitor, it's able to fix itself, it's able to control it. So are we in a position to open-minded that for the technologies, right? And we have to think little advanced, okay, already we gone through the pandemic kind of situation. Are we in a position to handle other pandemic or next endemic or whatever it is, right? So the main thing is energy efficiency. That is the main thing a lot of people lacking on it. So nowadays there is one more concept started. There is a certain vendors, they started to deploy their green energy in the data center and nearby area, and they consuming the energy to their data center, and they are able to give it to other nearby locations also. Things are going in that direction. And the data center head or CIO managing that also, right? So what could be the next driver? The next driver is nothing but, remote work going to increase day by day. It is not going to reduce. Even though company pushing so hard, everybody come back to office and everybody have to be in office. It's not going to be that easy. Things are getting complex than anything. If you push hard, that guy will put down the paper. So you have to hunt again. So remote work, you cannot avoid that. So before, the east-west traffic become northeast or whatever it is, the traffic is getting completely different. Before, your entire traffic in data center, end user computing to data center and data center to end user. And outside to inside, the traffic is less than 10 to 15%. Now, if you look at it, it's completely ulta. It's more than 70 to 80% from outside to inside and inside to outside. The internal traffic becomes less than 20 to 30%. So it is important to understand how the network works. And there is organization digitizations and digitalization project is already kicked off in a very massive way, and the growth is going to hit us hard, and we are not able to manage from the data center very simplest way. So you badly need that. And the technology growth, if you go to any manufacturing, either it's a pharma or car or any other manufacturing unit, the technology integrated, it's amazing. All are sensor based now. It's not like an island like before. It is getting integrated. And end of the day, it is again, you are going to hit the data center only, right? Overall thing is a lot of streaming. Even if you look at normal organization, it's not about just Amazon or Hotstar or anything. Even normal organizations doing the streaming within themselves and outside. They are doing so many events. They are having a lot of, they call it YouTube, they call it RTube or GTube or something like that. They are having their own streaming area. It is important to understand what is the organization plan, so which is you are able to adopt here, right? So the data center industry after COVID-19, how the growth is happening? It is continuing to be there, and IoT devices are connected in a massive way, which is unbelievably, $645 billion it's going to be there. Cloud storage, if you look at it, Google or Amazon, they started a new division called storage divisions. It is not just like before. The storage division only going to make up massive money for all the company, because even you want to take a small cute dog picture also, it is going to be in the storage. So the storage is the one which is, you can't stop it, and it is rapidly growing, and people need backup of the backup, and they need high availability. So the storage is making huge noise. And I'm just putting, everybody know the benefits, but one thing is people concerns. I'm saying it's not concern. More than concern, you have to think through before you are migrating anything to enterprise level or any cloud series. Are we in a position to have a right network? Because you may upgrade entire thing in a data center. Finally, you end up on your 5E cabling or basic Cat 6 cable with the old 1100 access points, which is not going to sufficient for your business. So when you do something, and connectivity also playing a huge role, like a SD-WAN or your point-to-point connectivity or any kind of things, it's very important to understand what kind of connectivity you have for your bandwidth, And second is the security. Many people, when they buy services, they don't bother much about the security. When I recently seen one incident like a 3389 port, some other vendor is open for their company, which is 1,000 sub server. There is a next to them, there is 3,000 to 4,000 servers hosted. All got impacted just because of one person done a mistake, 3389 he opened in the internet, which is the entire segment is gone, the entire data center went down, whoever the private cloud service provider is gone. So it is important to understand that what kind of service your agreement you are having with, and pay by usage is there, but we have a habit of not shutting down the services, so understand that what kind of cost we are talking about, and what kind of lock-in you have. Because many people, if you Google it, you will find plenty of option to how to migrate into cloud. Nobody will tell you how to migrate back to your data center. Nobody will tell you that. So it is important to understand, are we in a position to lock in? And the final slide is, the futuristic way is, you cannot avoid your data analytical dashboard and everything. Every day, everybody is asking, either you are IT guy or a finance guy or HR guy or CEO, marketing, sales, they want data. So the data analytical going to hit us hard. And overall thing is artificial intelligence going to integrate in all the area and ensure that, power generator, what we are going to do about it. And over and above, the green energy, which is important to understand, are we in a position to get our own power in case of something goes wrong? And there is a place specific, it is not going to be anymore. You have to scatter it everywhere. And of course, cloud, that is very important to understand, you cannot avoid. So cloud and connectivity is going to play a huge role. And over and above, 5G you cannot avoid, because the things happening in a way, commercial 5G or end user 5G, along with the edge computing, because you no need to do huge investment for your small office or remote office or small warehouse. So edge computing you cannot avoid, and understand that remote management and people-less data center going to be there. So with this note, all the best. Thank you all.